This is a duo by Miguel de Fonana. All we know about his dates is that he died in 1568. People didn't record their birth year as much. It wasn't as common to report someone's birth year or record it back during this time. But we do know that he died in 1568. So he was quite a few years earlier than the last piece I played by Mr. Robinson. So even though it's very short and condensed, I think there's a lot of really cool, exciting things happening in that little duo. One last piece I want to play for you guys tonight. It's actually a dance called a Bransol Charlette. And these Bransols were actually, this specific one was written by a fellow named Thomas Arbois. And he is famous for writing this book called Orchesographie. And he kind of started writing all of these choreographies for various dances at the time, and these choreographies actually turned into the basis of kind of what are considered the 5 fundamental positions in classical ballet. So a lot of what's become standard in classical ballet is due to this composer, and he, in that sense, he was kind of choreographing the dance and the actual music itself at the same time. Don't have any dates for him, not entirely sure, but would have been the 1500s that he was writing this sort of style of music. And in this Bransol Charlette, you get these, it's very distinctive. Immediately you think, oh yeah, that's definitely Renaissance or late medieval. If I can play it correctly, forgive me, I'm going to try that again. Okay, so notice what happened. We actually got that take the idea and copy it. We got that sort of that duo or that canon kind of happened in it. You hear it in the low bass. Then we're going to hear it in the higher part of the instrument. With a little bit of filler underneath it to flesh it out. Now that's a really cool sound right there, right? And with the melody. Notice that those are those very pure tones that we got back in the medieval period. It's considered called a perfect fifth, and when you play them together, there's actually a lot of math going on there to where those notes naturally resonate with each other. And all resonance means is you've got notes that when they're played together, they don't just sound good together, but the volume actually kind of boosts because the frequencies match. The patterns of the frequencies they kind of fit together, lock together, just like a puzzle piece. And when they lock together like that, the actual experience that we hear is greater than the sum of the parts. So rather than 1 and 1 equaling 2, it's more like 1 and 1 equaling 5. And you get this just boost in volume. So when you hear that, that really adds a lot of power and just, like I said, fills out the sound world as these melodies are getting copied over top of each other. You can hear it. And I really love that sound right there. Again, we get that perfect fifth in there, giving it that boost. And I'll play more of this in a second. But the other thing I wanted to point out that's really interesting is we get these changing time signatures. So if you look at the beginning here, we start out, at this time they weren't really writing time signatures, but what we can call 4/4, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then suddenly we get to this next measure right here, and it cuts to 2, 1, 2. So if you count this, most music we're used to hearing on the radio, we just always count it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're probably tapping along to that already right now without even thinking about it, just because it's so simple to hop in and go along with the flow when hearing 4. But in the 20th century, a lot of music starts to change that. We start to use 5s and 7s and 4s over 7s and stuff like that, and it gets really, really complicated rhythmically. But what's also interesting is to go all the way back, because usually we think of, the 20th century, when everything became very radical and modern and avant-garde, and all of these new experiments are happening in music. That's when rhythm and time changes really start occurring. But it's interesting to find little examples of that so far back in history. In this case, back in the Renaissance, we've got this section that starts in 4, 1, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but suddenly it cuts to 2, 1, 2, and then it's back to 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and that really creates a cool dance effect. Kind of building up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. When you kind of remove the second portion of that second repeat, take the 3 and the 4 away, it creates a little bit of tension. It just kind of keeps the momentum flowing, keeps the momentum pushing forward a bit, and that's what you want to happen in a big, exciting dance tune. You want to build up some motion, some momentum. But then by cutting some of it away, you keep everything moving forward, you keep everything flowing forward, and you get that bouncy sound. So I'm going to play all the way through the Sproncel Charlotte so you guys can enjoy that, and then we'll finish off with some concluding remarks on this Patreon video, and we'll see you guys next time. So this is Sproncel Charlotte by Thomas Arbau. So if you've enjoyed this music, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and follow me there. Let me know if you enjoyed this Renaissance period music. I've got more that I'd love to share with you guys, but I'm experimenting here and just trying to release as much stuff to see what sticks with you guys, what it is you guys want, and what serves you the most. So if you enjoyed learning just a bit about how to listen to this, if there's ways that you think I could do it better, if you'd like me to share more of the music on the screen or pictures or that sort of thing, let me know what I can do to improve and share more with you guys. Let me know if there's certain music that you'd like me to cover in later videos, that sort of thing. But I think maybe for the next little while we'll focus on some more Renaissance period music. If you guys enjoyed that, there's still some great pieces here with really funny stories. There's one about a guy who got bet. He bet that he could dance this jig for like 3 days and that sort of thing. It's just crazy, and it turns out to be a true story. Funny stuff, but there's all sorts of great stories. Oh, yeah, and there's, you know, the time that John Dolan got in trouble for conspiring with assassins to kill the Queen of England and things like that. So, you know, if you'd like to learn more about that, let me know, and we'll go from there. Until next time, guys, stay musical, and I can't wait to update you on the really cool, exciting new music that I'm writing for one of my supporters named Peter. He's got an incredible story, and looks like we're going to be dedicating the piece to him. I will make a very in-depth video about that coming up once I can actually play the parts that I've written. Till then, guys, thanks so much. Stay musical.